Here's to quitting. Quitting the couch for a quick run. Quitting the snooze button for a morning workout. Quitting giving up after 2 weeks. You see, staying committed to your fitness goals isn't easy. But with Apple Watch, you don't have to do it alone. Because Apple Watch gives you real-time motivation, plus advanced metrics that track all your workouts, so you can stick to your New Year's fitness resolutions. And once and for all, quit quitting with Apple Watch. iPhone 11 or later required.
At LinkedIn, we know hiring is a big deal for your small business. Sometimes it can feel a little overwhelming. LinkedIn uses data that you can't find anywhere else to give you the best candidates, all so you can feel confident you're hiring the best person for the job. And even a little hiring bliss. See why 86% of small businesses who post a job on LinkedIn get a qualified candidate within a day. Post a job for free at linkedin.com/achieve. LinkedIn, your next great hire is here.
Oh, Hilton stay, your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay, our holiday you're saving.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. This season, enjoy spacious, comfortable rooms and friendly service when you book with Hilton instead. Hilton for the stay.
This episode is sponsored by Welbeck, providing beyond better healthcare.
Hello, everybody. I'm Nicole Goodman.
And I'm Laura Mishkon, and this is the first episode of Self-Care Club 2026.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Isn't it nice to say it on the 1st of January?
I think
like when you really can say it.
And some people will say it like 3 weeks later on like the 26th of January, like, oh, Happy New Year. You're like, really?
We've done that, haven't we?
Hasn't January been going on for 6 months? By that point, you're ready for January to be over. Did you miss me?
Of course I missed you.
Did you have a lovely Christmas?
Yes, it was very super Christmassy. How was yours?
It was very sunny and very gorgeous. I'm pleased to be back in the studio with you, doing what we do best, which is talking about wellness.
Yes. So today, it's a slightly different show than normal, isn't it?
Well, we're bringing you a very special episode, clubbers. Yes, you are welcome. We thought we'd mix things up for the first episode of the year.
Yeah, so today we're talking about longevity.
Yeah.
Because, it's January, New Year, New You, and all of that. We don't like the New Year, New You, New Year's resolutions. We've done loads of shows on that, but we do want to talk about longevity, what it is, what it means,
why it's the new buzzword, why everyone's talking about it, what it actually looks like in practical terms. Mm-hmm. And we have an expert guest. We have a doctor coming on the show. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut in between her interview, in between Lauren and I talking about what longevity means to us, what it means in reality, how we can practice it better, how we can actually put it into our lives. And we're going to have the doctor giving us her take on it.
Yeah. What does longevity mean to you?
Longevity means living a longer life and living it well. Mm-hmm. And I think for me, it's quite a practical word, as it's like a doing word. It's like a verb to me. I know it isn't, but actually it means having to practice things that create and provide better health. Mm-hmm. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, in real terms, it means living longer. But I've never been that interested in living a long, long time. I just want to make sure that the time that I am here for, I am healthy and not in a state of decline or dementia. I think, unfortunately, because I have seen that play out, I feel that's my fear, I think, is living those last 10, 15 years.
Not well,
not myself. So I've always felt I don't really want to be here till I'm 100. But, if I make 80 really good years, healthy, happy
80?
years. Yeah.
I think 80 feels quite young now. My dad's turning 80 this year, actually. And he is so young-spirited and
he really
so
is.
Active and so mobile and always looking for the next challenge and the next way he's always looking to improve himself and get fitter and get stronger. And so to me, 80 is like...
He's a very young 80.
but that's my benchmark.
Yeah, well, then that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. You know, it really is.
I think it's a really interesting topic, longevity, and I'm pleased we're starting the year off with it because it kind of summarises everything that we choose to do here and everything we strive to do within the Self-Care Club.
Yeah.
In terms of, you know, what actually does improve your well-being? What does give you longevity? What does it even mean? And how can you bring that for yourself in a realistic, nourishing way? Not in a way where you have to spend hundreds of pounds on a shitty serum that's actually going to make absolutely no difference, and it usually gives me a rash.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, I don't think after the 6 years that we've been doing this show, I come back to the same thing every time. I don't think it's very complicated. But I think the wellness world complicates everything on purpose.
The consumerism complicates everything. And I think that when there's money to be made in people's insecurities, then people are happy to make the money. If we weren't told that it's not okay to age, to wrinkle, to have grey hair, we wouldn't have to buy all the products to stop that happening. We would just allow it to happen. And especially for women.
Especially for women. But I think the markets are creeping up on men as well, much more so than they used to. So anyway, so I think it's really interesting to have this discussion. Should we cut into our doctor?
Yeah.
We're going to give her her bio, and she's going to give us her definition of what longevity is.
Dr Marwah is the medical director of One Welbeck's Health Assessment and Longevity Centre. She has extensive experience in various medical specialities. She's worked in private practice for almost a decade and takes a very personalised approach to patient care. Dr Marwah holds a special interest in preventative medicine and has a holistic management approach to healthcare. Her UK and international medical network provides invaluable care for individuals and the families she oversees. She splits her time between Welbeck and her practice at 90 Sloane Street in Chelsea, where she works with some of the country's top practitioners who are pioneers in genetic screening. Dr Simi, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
We are delighted to have you.
We're going to really unpick and look at longevity, what it means, how people can understand the true meaning behind it, how we can all aim more for longevity. So should we start with the absolute basics? Because I think when people hear the word longevity, some of us can like picture sci-fi oxygen tanks and immortality, can't they? But what does it actually mean in medical practice right now?
The word is all about living a long life, and in the healthcare setting, it's about living a long life but in good health. Another two buzzwords, health span and lifespan.
Okay.
Right? Everyone used to look at that word as being, or people say they looked more at the word to mean lifespan. But in the context of medicine, and I think it stems and encompasses something much larger than medicine, and you've really just hit the nail on the head. You don't want to be living to 100 in bad health, being unhappy, not knowing what you're doing and just wishing you weren't here anymore. So you need to be in good health. And yes, there are markers and things that we can start doing. Again, that if I was thinking about the things that were instilled in us when we were kids. And so I'll just take you back to some things that we should start looking at, right? And these aren't in any particular order, but if you go to see a doctor or somebody who's really into their health and you're having this conversation, or you go and see the more newly named longevity doctors, for example, I think the big things that people are going to tell you, sleep is really, really important. Bone health, muscle health and muscle mass, something that starts declining in your 30s, right? Bone health, which is so important as we age. Reduced bone health increases risk of fractures. How many people do you hear about? You hear about so-and-so's grandma or grandpa who has fallen, fractured their hip, is in hospital, doesn't come out. It's the same story you hear again and again. And it's so important just to look at those things.
It's quite an astronomical statistic, isn't it? Have we got that statistic?
Yeah. For patients over 80, 43% of them can die within 30 days of a fall. Right. The risk is much higher if you've got pre-existing conditions, and women over 80 are at greater risk of falling and dying from falling.
Why women? Because of their bone density?
I think it must be. Maybe because they're smaller, frailer, possibly, and bone density.
But do you think that's anything to do with the menopause?
Yes.
And how it's been treated thus far?
And also they fall more. Women accounted for 60% of fall-related deaths and in the over 80s year group, and 75% in the over 90s group.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's a very high statistic that they actually don't ever recover from that fall.
Yeah.
You know what? It really starts to play into that statistic, into a lot of the reasons of why I lift weights and why I train. And a lot of the advice now for perimenopause and postmenopausal women is to do resistance training.
Yes.
And weightlifting.
Yeah.
Because it builds your muscle and it builds your strength and it builds your bone health.
And 50% of people over 80 fall over once a year. Well, and then it's the whole thing of, did they fall over or did they have a fall?
Well, we spoke about this in a very jovial sense on 40ish.
Because I fell over.
About a month ago,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah. And we were taking the mickey a little bit, but actually the falling over and having a fall are two very different things.
They are very different things, but I'm only 47. But if I was 87, that could have been really awful, actually, couldn't it?
Well, yeah. Listen, we were very lucky that Welbeck provided us with we went to the Women's Wellness Centre back, was it about a year ago?
Yeah.
Oh, just over a year ago. And they gave us a head to toe with bloods and DEXA scans and absolutely breast checks, everything. It was amazing. And we both had a DEXA scan.
Yes.
Didn't we? Do you want to talk about yours?
Well, mine showed that I had osteopenia present in my hips.
And for someone that doesn't know what osteopenia is,
It is a weakening of the bones. It is the one before osteoporosis.
it's like the precursor.
Yeah, so it's kind of fixable-ish.
Yeah.
Once it gets to being osteopenia, it's
Osteoporosis.
not. Sorry, osteoporosis. Then it's not. Then it's sort of brittle bones. You're at much higher risk of breaking a bone should you fall. So it showed that I had it in my hips. They only scan your hips. The doctor said it's quite likely I have it in my knees as well, but I don't have it in my spine or my neck, which is very good to know.
Yeah.
So for me, I guess any time from now, HRT would protects your bones. So that's good. And also anything that builds muscle around the bones so that you are not so kind of brittle, you're just a little bit stronger is good. And also very important to keep up vitamin D and vitamin C.
Oh, I didn't know that. And I got my DEXA scan done.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely fine. And
Yeah.
I was delighted because
Yeah.
I think I would have been really knocked if it hadn't been okay, because I'm in the gym every day.
Yeah.
And I think the advice is, if I'm correct, that weight training is really important as women age, and especially when they're postmenopausal, because it can help prevent osteopenia.
Yeah.
Is that correct? That is right, isn't it?
That is right.
It increases bone density and strength, and it slows bone loss, and it can even build new bone. How amazing is that?
That is amazing. I didn't even know that was possible.
So by putting stress on bones, weight bearing and resistance exercise, I'm reading this by the way, it stimulates bone forming cells and strengthens bones, particularly in areas like the hips, spine and wrists, which help reduce fracture risk. Now, it's very interesting because when I'm in the gym, a lot of the time we do like hanging exercises where we just hang. And that's all about your grip. And it's always about strengthening your grip. And if you have a very strong grip, I mean, I don't know what the stats are, but there's something very interesting in, like, if you fall and you've got a stronger grip, you're less prone to getting injured, or if you can hold onto something.
Well, I guess that's it. If you're older and you slip and you can grip tightly to something
for a period of time, like 20 seconds,
you can save yourself from falling down or up or whatever it is. Yeah,
Yes.
I totally see that. And also the whole thing of, don't they say squats are the most important exercise of all, because it's that piece of when you are much older being able to get in and out of a chair and up and down without using your arms.
Yes.
Like it's so important to have strong thighs.
Yes,
strong
my
glutes.
trainer always said that. He said he always used to test me. He's like, which is the most important muscle to keep strong as you age? And it turns out it's your quads.
Yeah.
Because that's what the quads are, what get you
Up
in
and
and
down.
out of a chair.
Well, with your dad in the gym at 6:30 every morning, I bet his quads are super strong.
Dr. Simi actually on this point says something very interesting about muscle mass. Let's cut over to her and hear what she had to say.
Bone health, muscle mass, need to preserve it, need to get a good amount of protein in. So protein requirements for a woman, for example, and these are all age specific and depend on how much activity you're doing. So take this with a pinch of salt, and I can signpost you to some really great links and resources that are guideline and research approved, okay? But let's say 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of protein every day, depending on your body weight.
Grams per kilogram, does that, you mean?
Of what you weigh.
Of what you
Of
weigh.
what you weigh.
Okay.
Of what you weigh. And that's why I'm saying take it with a pinch of salt.
So if you weigh 100 grams, 100 grams, no.
If you weigh
100 kilograms, you'd say that you need roughly about 100 grams of protein.
Right.
Right?
Got it.
Okay. But you have to take that with a pinch of salt, because when we talk about weight as well, what is fat and what is muscle? How much is someone training?
Yeah.
It's all relative, which is why when we're looking at giving people advice, we need to really bespoke and tailor that advice.
What lifestyle factors do you think make the biggest difference to living a long and a healthy life, but get the least attention?
But I think the biggest thing that is being pushed more, that has had the least attention is your social interactions.
Interesting.
I think that's huge, like absolutely huge.
There's all those amazing studies that are done on cancer patients with people that have the visitors versus people that don't, and how much quicker they recover with the people that have the support system and the network in place of people coming to see them.
Well, we've said this before, that loneliness is as bad for your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That was the fact. But I find it so fascinating that however many doctors we have on this show, we're talking about their specialities in the medical world. Every single one of them mentions friendship, community, being with other people. That's not medical. There's nothing medical about that.
We have done a lot of shows on community, the power of connection, haven't we? It comes up in a lot of our shows.
It comes up a lot. So we've done a show, and it's definitely in the book, Micro Connections. Micro Connections are just those sometimes 90-second interactions that you have with people throughout the day. It might be someone standing in front of you at the post office. It might be when you're walking the dog and you have a quick chat with someone. It's just that little tiny bit of the day, taking time out to talk to someone. We also did a show on community, the importance of community, didn't we?
We did that last May.
For mental health awareness.
And we teamed up with the Mental Health Foundation. And the theme of the year for 2025 was community, and the power and the importance of community and how that can help build your mental health.
Yeah. We've also done a mini-series on friendship.
That was amazing. I loved that mini-series.
It was actually very cute.
I think that was last September.
It was really good. Go back and listen to that.
I think that was September 24, if I'm correct.
And then a really, really, really long time ago, in lockdown days, we did a sister circle on Zoom because we weren't allowed to be together in person.
Well, we've done 2 sister circles.
Yes, we have.
And you spoke and you weren't allowed.
I know, I broke the rules accidentally.
Yeah. Yeah. They told you after. Anyway, that's by the by. What do your connections bring for you and your community? Like, what does it do for you, do you think?
Everything. It brings me everything. And actually, what I realised recently was that during the spring, well, I'd say from January last year until the spring, when Barker was very old and I couldn't walk him anymore, we just didn't really go out. You know, he just went in the garden, and I kind of, that is really, as we all know, is my only exercise, is walking the dog. And you kept saying to me, you know, you can walk without the dog, but it's just not the same. So I just didn't walk.
I hate walking without my dog.
Yeah, me too. So I just didn't walk, and he didn't walk. And then when we got Bieber this summer, she obviously couldn't go out for a while till she'd had her jabs. But when I started walking her in September, I realised how much I'd been missing, and I didn't realise how much I'd been missing. And I said to Ollie a few weeks ago, I feel so much happier in myself, and I couldn't really pinpoint why. And then I realised it's because I'm out again. I'm out in nature every single day for an hour, and I am having all these chats and conversations with all of these people and their dogs that I hadn't seen in a long time.
And you're missing a very vital piece. You're also moving your body.
And I'm moving my body,
Which
and I'm in
so
routine.
Important for your longevity.
Yeah.
And so important for your mental health.
And I'm in routine. Yeah. But you know, there are so many people who, and I've lived in my area with my community for nearly 20 years, and I saw those people 7 mornings a week for the best part of 16 years, and now I'm seeing them again. And honestly, I'm amazed how much difference it's made to how I feel. And that sounds crazy, because all it is an hour's dog walk. It's not a big deal. And you know,
it is. But what you're pointing to is that it is a big deal.
Well, I only realised when I was back to it how much I had been missing out on. I'm not like stopping to have coffee with these people. I'm not ringing them up for a chat, but I pretty much see the same people on a rotation every week, and it is those moments of connection, and community, because we all live in the same area, and it's vital.
I agree.
Or it's certainly vital to me.
It's vital to me too. I mean, I have a whole array of different communities, because I do different from my hobbies, just from, like, let's just say playing paddle, which is a recent thing. I started last April, and I've now met such a lovely group. And when I walked into the paddle club today, and I saw that all, like, my paddle friends, they were all sat down having coffee because they were there before me, and I sat down with them, and it was 10 minutes, just 10 minutes before we started playing. Yeah. And it really just brightens me, lifts me. I'm around like-minded people. We're enjoying the same thing. We're not even talking about anything particularly deep, but it's just being around each other is very uplifting.
It really is. I mean, I've met this new dog walker who's started to walk where I walk. And the first time I met her, I showed her where to go. And we kind of just started chatting. And now whenever she's there, she texts me, "Hi, I'm by the lake."
Oh, you've got a new friend.
I've got a new friend. If you want to come, then come. And Bieber loves her pack of dogs. She's got these 5 dogs that they all play beautifully together. And it's, you know, we've talked about her previous job and her life a bit. And we sort of have these very, you know, we sometimes walk for 15, 20 minutes together. But it's good. It makes my day better.
You're actually pointing to 2 practices that we wrote about in the book. Have you tried this? If you haven't read it. We talked about micro connections, and we talked about all walking. Yeah. And those 2 things are so vital for your well-being, and they're free. They don't cost anything. Yeah. And not only are they so important for your well-being now, they're important for your long-term health.
Well, what I was going to say on the point of longevity is that there's quite a few people who walk around where I walk who are definitely well into their 70s and sometimes 80s. And now it's a bit muddy, so a lot of them are walking with sticks, and a lot of them are walking alone, and they don't have dogs. But what they do have is loads of people who they stop and chat to. And I'm one of those people. Yeah. And then I always think, and I said this in the show we did about micro connections, you don't know what they're going home to. You don't know if they're living alone. You don't know if they're not going to have another conversation for the rest of that day. But it's nice for both of us to stop and have those 5 minutes and talk about the weather and the dog and the ducks and the whatever. And that goes on a lot where I am. And I always think, I find it so impressive that even in the winter, they're out, they're walking, you know, they're chatting. It's so good for you.
I'm really pleased that you feel a lot better just being out and moving, walking, talking. I think it points to a lot.
Yeah. And it's simple and it's free.
And actually, isn't that just the essence of what we do here?
Yeah.
That is the absolute heart of why we started Self-Care Club, because we wanted to debunk the wellness world. We couldn't believe that everything was so expensive and takes up so much time and exploitative and just built on consumerism. And we wanted to figure out what actually works and what really just doesn't, and what is a waste of your time and money. And I know we repeat this a lot, but I think it's a really lovely way to start off the new year of why we do what we do, and what we've learned. And everything that you've just said is exactly what we've learned. That for me anyway, that longevity, self-care, wellness, well-being, mental health, whatever you want to call it, it's all part and parcel of the same thing. That it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. It might take a bit of time and intention and consciousness, and that's okay, but it never really takes anything away. It just adds so much more to your life.
Someone messaged us the other day and she was asking me, because I did a funny little joke post wearing the LED face masks that we both got. And she said, I'm really thinking about getting one, but they're quite expensive. Obviously, we got gifted ours, which was very nice. Do you rate it? And I don't want to come back to you and say I spent the money and it was rubbish. And I was like, listen, I can't tell you it's changing my life. It's not going to change anybody's life. But if you can afford it and you feel like it's a nice thing to add in your kit of beauty stuff, brilliant. But it's not magic. And the thing is, nothing's magic. And we've tried pretty much everything.
You say nothing's magic, but actually the mornings that I feel low, anxious, stressed, worried about something, and then I go to the gym and I come out of that gym a different person.
But it's not a gadget, and it's not a kind of fad.
No. But what I'm saying to you is it actually can be magic if you find the right thing that works for you, and usually it doesn't really cost you anything.
That's the point I'm getting at. It's never going to be something in a bottle, a serum, a face
product.
mask, a product, something you can purchase that is going to make the change from you feeling whatever you're feeling to feeling better. It comes from the inside.
It does come from the inside, but it does also take practice and intention. It does, doesn't it? And you can't really gain longevity without putting something in place for yourself.
Yeah.
And the only person that can do it really
is you.
And
we've been to loads of exhibitions, haven't we? And wellness festivals and all this sort of stuff. And every year there's always something that's the thing. So it was mushrooms, mushroom everything. One year it was collagen everything. One year it was NAD plus.
Well, where's that gone?
Everything.
Where has that gone? Everything was NAD.
Everything.
NAD plus. Whatever.
And some women there said to us
something about aging being. What was it she said about aging?
Oh, that it was like a disease,
something like that.
And she was about 25, and I said, "What are you talking about? Aging is life. That's life."
It's a privilege.
Like flower, squirrel, person, plant, we all age and we all have a lifespan. Like there's nothing wrong with that. It's fine.
Well, nothing wrong with it. It just simply is. And it has to be.
Yeah. And now there's, and every year we go, the product changes and the fad moves on. And now there's all this business with the blood washing and the plasma washing and the, and I just feel really, what's it going to be this year? And are any of these things really, really, really worthwhile? Really? If you don't have the basics in place.
If you don't have the basics in place, then really you can't just pop a magnesium pill and hope that it's going to solve your whole life. It just isn't.
No.
You really do have to look after yourself, and that starts from the very basics of food, hydration, sleep, movement, community. I really think they are my top 5 basics of wellness and longevity.
And it's funny that in 6 years we haven't really changed our opinion on that.
I think it took us a couple of years to figure it out.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're so inundated with other information, and especially at this time of year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the internet, social media is filled with new ways to, like you said, the new year, new you, better yourself, lose this weight, take away this, fix this problem, spend this, buy this subscription, this package. Everything is aimed at fixing something.
And I'm all for the self-improvement, but I'm not for the self-improvement because you've got to spend tons of money with a company who promise you the world,
I think if they're promising you that your life is going to change in 6 weeks, that's when you should be suspicious of it.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because there isn't a magic pill.
Yeah.
And actually, like you've just said, whether it's, you know, suddenly going for a 20-minute walk every day when you haven't moved your body in months and months and months, that's going to make all the difference rather than some supplement.
Should we take a break and then we're going to come back and talk about the longevity offering at Welbeck?
The Subaru Share the Love event is on from November 20th to January 2nd. During this event, Subaru donates to charities like the National Park Foundation, helping protect over 400 national parks. When you purchase or lease a new vehicle during the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru and its retailers will make a minimum $300 donation to charity. Visit Subaru.com/share to learn more.
Shopify's point of sale system helps you sell at every stage of your business. Need a fast and secure way to take payments in person? We've got you covered. How about card readers you can rely on anywhere you sell?
Thanks. Have a good one.
Yep, that too. Want one place to manage all your online and in-person sales? That's kind of our thing. Wherever you sell, businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at shopify.com/Spotify. Shopify.com/Spotify.
Understand where women's sports leagues are headed with She's Not Next, She's Now from The Gist of It. She's Not Next, She's Now is a podcast series on The Gist of It feed exploring new and emerging women's sports. Hear how these leagues started, where they stand today, and what comes next. Each episode features real conversations with players, executives, and fans shaping sports like pro soccer, volleyball, and softball. It's clear context without jargon, built to help fans actually follow the story. Listen to She's Not Next, She's Now wherever you get your podcasts on The Gist of It feed.
So we have been lucky enough to go to Welbeck many times. We've been invited to Welbeck. It's a beautiful clinic in the centre of London, and they have how many expert doctors there?
Hundreds and hundreds.
And any single department you can think of, they offer it at Welbeck. And we really adore working with them. They've been a really fantastic partner of ours. And they have some amazing screening packages for longevity, don't they?
They do.
From top to bottom, you can't even believe what they offer there. Let's let Dr. Simi tell us a bit more about it.
Tell us about the screening package at Welbeck. What is it? What's the process if someone wants to come and have that done with you?
So we do have quite a bit of information on our website, and you can go ahead, look at the website and choose what you want as what we call a core screen that would encompass a really, really, really good lot of things and tests. And it's really comprehensive from head to toe that doesn't involve any radiating scans.
Okay.
Because one wouldn't want to radiate unnecessarily. Mm-hmm. If one decided to go in for this core screen, in essence, as the first big health screen that you were having, you'd come in, still sit down with myself or one of the screening clinicians, and you would have an initial consultation. So regardless of what screening
you've booked in for,
we'd still have that initial consultation and actually do that whole hour and a half, or maybe a bit longer if I get my way, and go through absolutely everything with you and explain all of the tests. And if I go back to what I want everyone to know before they'd come in, or before they'd see their doctor, or before they'd think, actually, what can I do in terms of longevity? It is so important for every single person to know what their family history is, right? If you know what your family history is, and this is data collecting, this is spending time with family and, well, your family in essence, and finding out what diseases are more prevalent, and also what diseases are more prevalent under the age of 65, right? So early onset high blood pressure, early onset high cholesterol. You can have familial hypercholesterolemia. Knowing these things and speaking to whoever you can, and some people will turn around and say, actually, I don't have contact with my family. Fine, we'll start with just the information that you can give me about you then. So everything about your lifestyle, be open and honest. Do you smoke? Do you drink? What's your diet like? It helps me tailor your screening. So family history,
Yep.
your own medical history,
Yep.
then your lifestyle factors that
Yep.
are going to influence that, right? And let's put it all together and we can put a really good screening plan in place for you.
And what's involved in the screening? Is it like a set of bloods? Is it scans? Is it what's involved?
Bloods, so full blood count, kidney function, liver function, iron stores, thyroid function, HbA1c marker of diabetes, lipids, and then advanced lipid tests as well. And we would look at inflammation and B12, folate. It's still common things are common, right?
Yep.
And we would do those as your baseline tests. And then we would look at the brain. So we would do an MRI and something called an MRA scan of the brain to look at the structure of the brain, the anatomy, and also the blood vessels that supply the brain with blood. Then we would do a scan of the carotid arteries that take blood up to the brain to make sure there are no blockages or narrowing and make sure that you're not at risk of a stroke, for example. Then we would do some lung function tests, so put you in a glass, I'm going to say glass cage, but a glass box, blow through different tubes, little pipes, just to see if there is any initial problem with the airways.
Okay.
Really easy screening for things like asthma. Again, common things are common.
Yep.
Right. Then we do a baseline ECG and echocardiogram. The time that people actually listen to your heart routinely, 6-week baby checks.
Oh,
And then
wow.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
And so heart hasn't been listened to. We don't know what the structure and function of your heart is like. And you know what? I'm sure my colleagues have said this in podcasts before, but you don't need to die of a heart attack. Heart disease can be prevented, right? But people don't even know what the structure and function is like. So those are included. And then at Welbeck, we've got a really cool piece of tech, and it's the only machine of its type and the specs that it is. It's the mole mapping machine. And you have a dermatology consultation. Dermatologist has a look at your skin, into the hair, behind the ears, under the feet, in the webs of the fingers, highlights any lesions or moles that look suspicious. You go into this standing donut kind of machine for about 3 minutes, and it takes an AI scan of your whole entire body. And we recommend that you have it every year. It can pick up tiny changes in moles, and skin cancer is becoming more and more prevalent.
I mean, that's life-saving.
Yeah, so that is life-saving.
Yeah.
The incidence and prevalence of melanoma is massively on the rise.
How long does it take, the packages?
It takes a good day.
Oh, it's a whole day.
A good day from about, let's say, 8 to 6 p.m.
Oh, wow.
With minimal breaks, because we also do MRI scans of your abdomen and pelvis. Do something called a fibroscan of the liver, where you see a consultant. You get your bloods done, as we discussed, and it's
wow, this
it's really
is thorough.
Do you get the results the same day?
No, so we get the results within 24 hours.
Wow,
Amazing.
it's very quick. Yeah.
Sometimes the reports can take up to 48 hours because people have to type everything in. But the great thing about doing this at Welbeck is that you've got over 300-400 specialists within the building. If something urgent is detected, it's highlighted then and there.
Yeah.
So actually, with the Women's Health core screen, we do breast screening.
Yeah, we've had it.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's amazing. You get to go to the one-stop
yeah,
clinic.
it's fantastic.
I have to say, I've said it again. I've said it before and I will say it again. It is absolutely amazing, that floor.
Yeah.
And they are so on it. They don't leave you to worry for a second more than you have to.
Yeah.
And they have got everything you need there and then.
We've done it and it was
I've done it many times. Yeah. Okay. So it takes a full day.
It takes a full day. It is a long, lengthy, tiring process, and it can be very overwhelming, but you are looked after very well. So on arrival, you are met by your client liaison manager who will stay with you throughout the day.
That's great.
It's lovely.
They will order you some yummy food as per your preferences. They will try and put breaks in because there are quite a lot of tests that you have to fast for. So you can get pretty hungry and people get pretty hungry by the time it's time to eat. But you're really well looked after and everything's just done and dusted. Some people go on to have a colonoscopy, and if they do, because we're tailoring the screening, then we do the colonoscopy on a different day.
It sounds utterly fascinating. I mean, I would love to do something like this.
I would too, sort of.
Would you? I'm
Sort
shocked
of.
that you would.
Sort of and sort of not.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to have to go through the day, but I would be fascinated to know. I just would love a 70-page report of my overall health.
I hope it would be a very short report.
Well, it wouldn't be short because you're doing so much testing.
I know, but as in like, you're fine.
Yeah,
Go home, you're fine.
Yeah.
That.
You know, the thing is, with this, it can be hefty cost-wise.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, if you can, then even if you don't know where to start, come in and have a consultation.
Yeah.
Right? Gift the consultation, get a few people to get together. I've started gifting my friends and family consultations, even with my colleagues, and a few of us could pool our Christmas allowance together and just go and sit down.
That's lovely.
Just go and sit down with a doctor,
Yeah.
screening clinician, come in, we'll go through everything. There are some things, if people have insurance, we can say, actually, this is something that wouldn't be screening.
Yeah.
You can go off. You've had your good initial screen, but we can go off and you can get this through your insurance.
Yeah.
Or these are the things that I can refer you back to your NHS GP for.
Yeah.
Right? They're not acutely urgent, but these are the things I want you to get done.
Yeah.
And the NHS now is doing health checks, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
They're doing great bloods, ECGs
Yeah.
to start off
Yeah.
with for people 40 years old who don't have any health problems. So there are lots of different ways of going about it. And I guess, as I said to you all, the biggest thing that someone like me can do is signpost information that comes from evidence as best one can, so that it's accessible to all.
I get that totally.
We always like to finish off with our guests asking them what they do for their own self-care. So the question to you, what do you do for your own self-care?
I try to prioritise sleep. I don't do that as well as I should, but the realisation of what were or are my happiest times, knowing what they are, who they're with, that's my, at the minute, that's what I'm prioritising the most. And then I think the other thing is, and this is a really good one, the best advice that I've been giving people who are worried about what they should eat, they don't know where to start, should they be counting calories, etc. I think this thing of being on a diet is a really negative, it's just a negative word for a lot of people. So I always try to say that eat everything, but try and eat the things with the cleanest ingredients. So if you want chocolate cake, have the chocolate cake, but make sure you know what's in it. And they're like, well, how am I going to do that?
Make it yourself.
Make it, exactly.
Yeah.
So don't deprive yourself of anything, but if you really want it, make it.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate your time. We know how busy you all are at Welbeck, so we really appreciate you being here.
No worries. Thank you very much for having me.
Wishing you a very happy and very healthy 2026.
There we go. Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you. It sounds like an amazing package.
Yeah, it really does. If you're looking for a thorough and proper MOT, to know, your baseline, what you're starting with, how are you, then it's an amazing thing to be able to do.
And I don't think it leaves any stone unturned from head to toe. And it's really amazing. And I can say they really do look after you at Welbeck. Yeah. So if you are interested, go check out their website. I think we'll put the link on the show notes.
Yes.
So it'll be there. And definitely go and check them out. I'd like to take a moment now and talk about us. And we want to wish all of you clubbers at home a very happy new year. Thank you for being with us for the last however long you've been with us. And if you've just found us, welcome to the show. We hope that you get all of your wellness needs and all of the information that you are looking for here. We've got over 600 episodes, so work through the library at your leisure. What are we going to be doing? What have we got in the pipelines for 2026?
Well, we're starting off January and we are going to go back to the beginning. We're going full circle. So we are going back to gratitude, which was, I believe, the first or second show we ever did at the club.
It was either gratitude or kindness. One
of those.
Yeah.
Something to do with Joe Wicks because we were in lockdown.
No, that was Joe Wicks is my boyfriend.
Oh, yeah. Joe Wicks was everyone's boyfriend back in March 2020. He was the world's boyfriend.
He really was.
Yeah.
And then he got like an OBE, MBE for being everyone's boyfriend.
Yeah, and then he had loads of children.
Yeah.
We've got 4 now.
Yeah, good for him.
Good for him.
Still love Joe Wicks.
And he sold more cookbooks than Jamie Oliver. Something insane. He's brilliant. Anyway.
So we have got a beautiful mini-series. It's a 3-parter on gratitude. And some of it is going to be very heartfelt, very uplifting. And some of it is going to be really fun and a bit silly and doing what we do. So it's going to be an all-rounder. So please stay tuned for that.
And talking of hearts, in February, we have the incredible Dr Boon Lim coming in to talk all about the heart. You will not want to miss that episode.
He's a very esteemed cardiologist. So we're really looking forward to meeting him and having him on the show and hearing all about his expertise. Yep. We've got some great stuff planned for you for 2026 where all of your wellness needs will be looked after, I can assure you. And we have got some great stuff planned on 40ish. So please, if you haven't checked us out over there, please do. It's like the sillier version of this.
Slightly ruder.
It's definitely ruder. Where we kind of let it all out a bit over there.
Make 40ish your New Year's resolution.
And we will be back. I know it's a Thursday today, but we will be back every single Monday talking about a new wellness trend or something new that's happening in wellness in general. So please stay tuned for all of that. And thank you for being here.